When I showed her our revenue recognition, she said, finally, someone thought of it. I want to be able to answer the question, how much money I make, how much money it costs me to make this money. But there is so much that can be automated, and we are at this perfect time. We are spending so many hours pulling data from so many platforms. This JustPaid is the solution that will work for me. So for her, it's a replacing spreadsheet chaos. Like for her, having like this and one place where she gets all the data, where the revenue recognition is calculated for her, where the information about all of the customers, all the contracts, all the details is in one place. For her, it's already like gonna save hours of her time. Another one, she said, solving the hardest pain for her was reconciling deposits and matching to revenue is the worst part of my job. So that highlights to our revenue reconciliation process. Another CFO said, when I showed her our revenue recognition, she said, finally, someone thought of it. And then she said, just getting the price structure right used to make multiple contract reviews. Now it's automatic. So revenue recognition done right for her was there's this. She spent about 5 minutes just highlighting how much value the revenue recognition would drive for her. Her pain is not necessarily billing. Her pain is not necessarily like take the contract, put it in a invoice and take it further. Her pain is actually working with an output and making sure that, when she's preparing the financial reports that goes to founders, that goes to investors, she knows that all the revenue recognition, everything she's reporting is accurately. And, take it even further. It goes to IRS at the end of the year. And that's what companies will pay tax on. So having accurate, to the point revenue recognition is imperative. We are also in a trial right now with their AI company, and they just went through external audit. And the biggest issue that the auditor highlighted is that their revenue is non-auditable. So all of the contracts were all over the place. Invoices couldn't be matched to the contracts. Revenue couldn't be matched to the invoices. Everything was all over. So they're now looking for a solution and to resolve the biggest problem. What's our answer honestly, truthfully, and confidently? What is our revenue? Feedback from the fractional CFOs, from some of the customers that I'm working with right now. Right now, they want to automate their reminders. They have an issue with, they have a contract. Like the biggest point is reminders, right? How do we get paid? But another thing that they really have struggling with is each of their customers have different rates for the same product. And it's not like, it's like, they have like, transfers, like, the international transfers. Customer A could be paying $10 a transfer, customer B can be paying $12 an answer, customer C could be paying a completely different amount. They need to keep track of that. And that's a lot of contracts to keep track of. So having a one centralized system, that's what they're pretty much looking for. Another client, another customer that I'm working on right now, the CEO loves the product, and the CEO is like, I am dealing with all of the contracts myself. I would love if I can, like, instead of going through the contracts, I can, like, ask a question about the contract. I'm like, oh yeah, we have AI. Now let's go back to a little bit of a nagging problem that, CRM. Who cares? Stripe, Salesforce, HubSpot, whatever the CRM they have. Why are we having CRM there at all? Well, the problem with CRM and even how we are using CRM is we haven't, outbound campaigns, right? we're sending out 7,000 emails weekly. Those emails like go through the sequence. Every single email is recorded in our HubSpot. When we have a conversation, we put a price tag on that deal, and then we start conversing with them. What happens is that as soon as I put a price tag on a deal, takes this data from CRM and gives the presentation. Well, the thing is, what I quoted in CRM as we started conversing with the customer, it's definitely not what will be by the end of like when we sign a contract. It's gonna be like, hey, I'll give you 3 months free trial. You're gonna test it out. The onboarding, that's what will happen. In the end, what we will send them a DocuSign for is going to be completely different from what we quoted. And having that ability, like even if I am gonna input everything correctly in CRM, but the thing is CRM has so many hands in it. It's a problem of the airport security. The airport security is as good as the worst security of any of the airports that there is. So if you're traveling, let's say from Philippines through 15 different airports back to United States, even if your once airport like forgot to skip your baggage claim, the baggage check on, for explosives, that's it, right? So same thing for our CRM. If we have one person who it doesn't update CRM well enough, is not hygiene, doesn't maintain this called CRM hygiene, then everything is garbage. You cannot trust anything. So now I have to audit everything. So having the ability to really trust your numbers, to really use those numbers from CRM into your projections, to say, hey, in 5 months, you can hire, 3 developers because this is where your revenue would be. That's what we're really trying to answer this question. So like we're tying what you've promised, what are you working on right now through your CRM to versus what you really build and collected and what you can really do with your business right now, given your current financial situation. So that's what I really wanted to highlight with you. Like first, feedback from the CFOs, what I'm getting, what the problems are, and why we're doing certain functionalities. Now, in terms of where would I like the product to be in a year from now? This is just like a little vision. So JustPaid, I would like it to be completely independently working with multiple systems, integrating deeply into the knowledge of the sales cycle, customer support, and finance, where it provides complete revenue management. So as a CEO or as a CFO, I want to be able to answer the question, how much money I make, how much money it costs me to make this money. So cost of user acquisition. So I want to know if I have 15 salespeople who I pay commission for each of the sale, how much each of the sales cost me in commission. I want to know, can I ramp up? Can I get to being a $1 billion company with how many contracts I have in the pipeline from CRM, how having intelligence on how an average that takes me to close a deal from CRM, but fed into my revenue knowledge database, which is JustPaid, know that how fast my customers paying, what geography affects the payment cycle, industries. If I work with this specific industries, am I getting higher, margins on the specific industries? I want to be able to have a conversation with JustPaid that will lead me into the decision-making process and help me to decide on what am I building, what am I selling, and how am I selling, and how am I charging for it. That's the vision, what I would like. There is nothing like this exists. If I talk to founders about this right now, nobody can answer a question, what's their CAC? How much are they spending money? What's their MRR? It's always very vague. People roll their eyes. They're like, I haven't gotten the numbers yet from my CFO. I haven't looked into these numbers anymore. It's not available. But this is what everybody really needs to make a decision. Yeah, we look at our bank accounts, we look at our total monthly spend, we have rough estimation. But what do I do when I'm projecting, I have 15 contracts right now in pipeline. When are they going to close? When am I going to get paid for it? What can I do with this money? How can I expand safely, right? Because we've seen I mean, I don't know how you guys been, but like I've done accounting for so many startups. I've seen companies expanding too fast, hiring way too many people unnecessary before they even got anywhere near to the position of hiring people. We want to prevent this happening again for anybody in any industry. SaaS is easy. We have contracts. We can help them there. And as we grow, we can find the, which industry works better. Like we were talking to, I was talking to a CFO who's working with construction, and he was like, this is so much problem in construction with payment reminders. So I'm like, you guys need to have phone calls. They're like, yes, we do. I'm like, we're not doing that yet. But there is so much that can be automated, and we are at this perfect time. It's like, when iPhone came out, right? How much have changed in our lifetime, how much can be built. And I think this is where we are right now. We have talented group of engineers who understand the problem. We figure out where we want to be. Mostly like how it's related to finances, projected revenue. So that's what I really want to be like, okay, projected revenue, cost of revenue, and sales cycle. Right, if I have projected $15 million in revenue, I know from my previous experience that this industry takes 15 months to close, or this industry takes like 3 months to close. So I know when my revenue will be, when I'll be able to capture this revenue in my pipeline. So a lot more intelligence, in actual intelligence, not just workflow optimizations. This workflow optimizations were like, I think is like maybe 10, 5 years, 7 years ago, that's what would have been sold. But now people want more. They want actual, like, somebody to talk to about their revenue. I shared the vision where I wanted to be, that what we're building resonates with the audience. There is quite a lot of, so the only thing is like we're helping very intelligent, smart people what they're already really good at, like building Excel spreadsheets, and and we need to convince them that they can trust our data. It was so exciting, so heartwarming to hear somebody who said, you really understand the pain point, and you really capturing like all the little nuances that are, that I'm the worst part of my day in JustPaid.